While class has not been in session the past 2 weeks, our local athletes continue to play throughout winter break. Hello everyone and welcome back to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Many of our basketball teams found success at multiple different tournaments. Bennett boys and girls finished in second and third place respectively at their tourneys, and Mattia boys also collected a second place trophy. The break was highlighted by the Neuqua Valley boys, Waubonsie Valley boys, and Waubonsie girls all winning tournament championships. But now, our teams turn the page to a new year with just a month left in the regular season. The Neuqua Valley girls team hosted Waubonsie Valley, and the rivalry game does not disappoint. Neuqua Valley girls basketball welcomes rival Waubonsie Valley for a matinee matchup as the DVC schedule starts up once again. The Warriors are one of the hottest teams in the state after winning the Wheaton North Bill Nebbs Holiday Tournament, while the Wildcats hope to continue their strong start to the conference season. The Wildcats with an early 3-2 lead and use the offensive glass to add to their advantage. Quinn Segal gets the board and kicks it out to Nalia Clifford, who sinks the three. Later in the first quarter, Kylie Norkus with a nice move to free herself, but the shot is too strong. Once again, Segal is there for the board, and this time she puts it in herself for two. Neuqua is holding on to the narrow lead. Clifford finds Caitlin Washington for the jumper through the contact off the inbounds play. The opening quarter is winding down, and Caitlin Washington feeds Norkus, who buries the three. Neuqua takes a 15-12 lead, but the Warriors keep the pressure on. Daniela Porcozo flies into your screen for the running layup to make it a 1-point game. Early in the second quarter, all tied at 19. Porcozo swings a pass to the freshman Maya Peretta, who sinks the three. The Warriors take their first lead of the game. Near the end of the first half, Peretta misses the mid-range jumper, but she tracks down the loose ball and hits Porcozo for two more. Waubonsie takes a 29-22 lead at halftime. In the opening minute of the third quarter, Norkus puts in 2 of her 8 points with a nifty Euro step to cut the deficit to 5. Waubonsie Valley has an answer as Ariana Garcia drives and makes a great pass to Lily Newton, who banks it in. Newton with 8 points in the game. Midway through the third, Garcia pushes the pass and finds Porcozo, who hits the triple. The sophomore leads all scorers in the game with 22 points. Early in the fourth quarter, Peretta with a strong drive to the rim, and she gets the layup to go. 11 points for the freshman as the Warriors extend the lead to double digits. Zoe Navarro looking to help her team get back into the game. A spinning jumper in the lane drops in for 2 of her 10 points to keep the Cats alive. After a Clifford three, the sophomore can't get this one to fall. Waubonsie runs the break and Garcia puts in the layup to keep Neuqua at arm's length. Porcozo puts up a shot with 3 minutes to play. Garcia with the rebound and she finds senior Hannah Lobb, who banks it home. Waubonsie with a 54-46 lead. A 55-50 lead for the Warriors with under a minute to play. The Wildcats are jumping the passing lanes as Clifford makes the steal before finding Washington for 2. It's a one-possession game as Neuqua trails 55-52, and Coach Williams loves the effort. After another Waubonsie turnover, Washington takes matters into her own hands with a spin and a tough drive to the rim. 20 points in the game for the senior, and the Wildcats trail by 1, 55-54, with under 10 seconds to play. Ariana Garcia is fouled, but she misses both free throws, giving the Wildcats a chance to take the lead. Segal takes the inbound, dribbles up court, and looks to Clifford, who lets a three-pointer fly. It's just off the mark, and Porcozo lets the ball land out of bounds with under a second remaining. The Warriors just heave the ball down court and let the clock run off as Waubonsie survives the valiant comeback attempt with a 55-54 win over Neuqua Valley. The Warriors remain undefeated in DVC play and 18-1 overall.
School is still on break, but conference play resumes for girls basketball as Naperville North hopes to start the new year with its first conference win. They take on Mattia Valley, who is also looking for DVC win number 1. Things look promising for the Huskies, up 3-0, and Sydney Fink finds Natalie Frempong, who connects from 3 to grow the lead. Frempong is added again by dribbling, takes the 3, and hits it to make it 15-2 in their favor. Later on, the Mustangs find their groove with Annie Burke trying out the jump shot, and it's good. Huskies continue the pace with Fink, who takes it all the way to the rim and ends it with a floater. Dogs lead 22-4, but the other Burke and Lucy is wide open and puts in the trifecta. North remains on point from 3, and here is Anna Richards in the corner and sinks it. Huskies are up by 20. You want some more threes? Kendall Johnson says yes, please. And kaboom! Richards continues her strong game with another 3-point attempt as she hits it with the foul. It's 37-14 North at the break. The Mustangs get some positive vibes in the third quarter with Lucy Burke, and here she is laying one in off the glass. Then Reese Falha hits the fast break button and comes into the lane like a runaway train and scores. Mattia still has some work to do, down 42-21. As for the team in blue, new half, same dogs, and same Anna Richards, who is online from 3. This one was all Naperville North from the start, and Emma Gilvitis puts the cherry on top with this contested shot. Huskies snatched their first DVC win with a 53-24 victory.
In boys basketball, the top DVC teams met, with Waubonsie Valley hosting the Wildcats. Neuqua looks to be the first team to take down the Warriors this season, and both are undefeated in conference play entering the new year.
We're at Waubonsie Valley for a highly anticipated boys basketball matchup between the Warriors and Neuqua Valley. Both teams currently sit at 3-0 in the DVC, looking to separate themselves from the rest of the teams. We get things started with Moses Wilson picking the ball up in the corner as he opens the scoring with a 3-pointer. The Warriors get the ball right back, and this time it's Ryan Morton's turn to knock down a triple. Waubonsie takes an early 6-0 lead. Neuqua's turn on the attack. Colin Garrity plays a give and go with Luke Paloshki as Garrity scores on the layup. Wildcats trail 10-6. Not long later, Ryan Morton gets the ball in the top corner as he hits his second triple of the quarter. Back and forth we go to finish the quarter. Colin Garrity swings a pass down low to Nathan Fiore, who knocks down the 3-pointer. Neuqua trails 13-10 after 1 quarter of play. The Wildcats start the second quarter on top. Colin Garrity works his way past a defender before finding John Bieber, who scores on the close-range shot. Neuqua continues to dominate in the second. Nathan Fiore gets position in the bottom corner as he shoots for 3. The Wildcats score 11 unanswered, now leading 21-13. The Warriors finally get something going through Ryan Morton, who pump fakes his defender before tacking on another triple. Waubonsie's turn to string some points together. Tyreek Coleman picks up the ball as he picks up a 3-pointer for himself. Warriors still trail 25-21. Finishing the quarter on top would be Neuqua. Krish Patel gets the ball in the paint as he scores on the layup. Neuqua leads 32-23 at halftime. To start the third quarter, the ball starts in the hands of Tyreek Coleman as he works through 2 defenders, putting 2 points on the board. A couple of possessions later, Coleman is looking for the alley-oop with Moses Wilson, but he just misses. Picking up the rebound is Coleman. Waubonsie now trails by just 3. Just under a minute to go in the quarter, Luke Paloshki gets the ball for the Wildcats as he finds the net for the triple. Time winding out in the quarter as Tyreek Coleman steps back, knocking down the triple just before the buzzer. The Warriors take a 42-40 lead going into the final frame. Nequa starts the quarter with the ball. Joe Balgrow gets the ball in the corner shooting for three. Wildcats retake the lead early in the fourth. Waubonsee's offense continues to shine in the late stages of the game. Tyreek Coleman makes his way through three defenders as the ball just bobbles in. It would be all Waubonsee late in the game, and finishing off the game for the Warriors is Coleman as he finds Trayshawn Blissett in the paint as he caps off the game for Waubonsee. The Warriors take down Nequa Valley 56-50, moving to 14-0 on the season.
It's a Friday night DVC basketball matchup in the first meeting of the season between the Naperville North Huskies and the Metea Valley Mustangs. The visiting Mustangs get things started with a Jake Nosek three. A couple of possessions later, sophomore Max Steele answers from the corner for the Huskies. Luke Williams grabs the rebound here and takes it himself for the finish. On the other end of the court, Husky Jack Hallstrand gets the steal off the inbound for an easy two. Both teams continue to exchange threes and points. Nosek for the Mustangs and Hallstrand for the Huskies. The first quarter ends with North in front, 10-8. At the start of the second, Nosek makes his third three of the game, and Metea leads 13-10. William Harvey finds Grant Montanari cutting to the basket for two, and in the Huskies' next possession, he knocks down a three as Naperville North leads 15-13. The bank is open on Friday night as it's Will Ashford's turn to hit a three for the Mustangs. Hallstrand finds Montanari from the post position as he cuts to the basket for two. Huskies lead 21-16. Just before the half, Bryce Welch feeds Hallstrand for two on the fast break as they lead 23-16 midway. Steele hits a three out of the half, and Naperville North has a 10-point lead, their largest of the game, at 26-16. Metea fights back though as Dominic Smith gets a steal and converts the layup as the Mustangs are on an 8-0 run. Momentum changing hands again. Williams passes ahead to Welch, who gets the layup and foul but cannot hit the free throw. Naperville North leads 30-24. Hallstrand starts the fourth with a layup, and North is still in front 32-26. After a Williams three for North, James Parker dribbles into a pull-up jumper for his first points of the game for Metea. Ashford gets back-to-back baskets here from the right block as it trims the Husky lead to 35-32. Now with just over a minute left to play, Nosek misses the first corner three, but a Metea offensive rebound gives him another opportunity. He knocks it down, and suddenly it's a 36-35 game with the Mustangs trailing by one. With 1.1 seconds left in the game and down by two, Nosek tries to send it to overtime, but his shot hits the front of the iron and the Mustangs fall just short. Naperville North escapes with a 39-37 win and ends a two-game skid. When we return, we'll keep things on the hardwood as Naperville North girls basketball welcomes in a young new head coach this season.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Ingenious.
Sardine fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO.
What's the matter, boy? What are you trying to tell me? Is something wrong?
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something.
Naperville Animal Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I'd like to report a case of animal cruelty and neglect.
Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves.
It might be her first varsity head coaching job, but Allie Miller comes from a family of coaches. Patrick Cotto has more on the 25-year-olds taking over the Husky program.
After Erin Coletti stepped away from her head coaching duties for Naperville North girls basketball, a new leader takes the reins for the 2023-2024 season. Allie Miller takes a seat in the head chair this winter as she looks to keep the strong run going for the blue and orange following Coletti's 4 seasons.
I'm just really excited to build a positive culture that I think, we started in June over camp, and the girls have definitely, done a good job of our captains. We had those conversations about what we wanted to accomplish this year and moving forward and creating a positive culture amongst, all the levels in our programs and, girls getting to know each other and have those relationships and connections with everybody. And I think we've done a really good job of that so far.
That culture has shown plenty of positive vibes in the past 4 seasons, with 2 regional titles and a trip to the sectional final for the first time since 2001. This year's Huskies had to start from scratch with the first-time head coach and needed to replace key players from a 20-win season like Layla Henderson, Abby Drendel, Abby Homan, and Peyton Fenner.
It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but it's definitely been a fun journey so far. I think the biggest thing I've learned in moving forward is that, to have a little bit more patience with myself and them. Obviously to build something successful, it takes time. So that's just kind of what we're moving forward.
Miller played prep basketball at Lombard South before attending Illinois State University. Since joining the Husky program following her graduation at ISU, Miller spent time as the JV team coach before taking over the varsity program this season. Despite not playing at the collegiate level, Miller knew coaching the game would be a part of her career journey as basketball lives in her DNA.
Basketball's always ran in the family. My dad was a head coach for a long time. My brother's also a head coach over at Downers Grove South for boys basketball, and it's just something that I always saw myself doing. I've always kind of had a leadership role, myself playing on teams throughout high school, and I knew this is something I wanted to do with my future and my career.
With just 4 players with previous varsity experience, Coach Miller and her team knew this season would be a learning process. The Huskies did start the season 3-0 while winning the Warhawk tournament, but there was a road bump along the way in the form of 6 straight losses. However, following that rough patch, they won 4 of their last 6 games, including a big win over Neuqua Valley in the Montini Christmas tournament. Coming out of the holiday break, the team kept the ball rolling by picking up their first DVC win over Metea Valley. As for the players on the court, including returning starter Sydney Fink, they are excited to have Miller on their side and are ready to face the roller coaster of challenges.
They have our backs all the way. I think their energy is just something that it can't ask for more. They back us up every time on the court. They'll always have our backs. And they just connect with us. They actually care about us. Whenever we have a problem, they're always listening and they help us turn it around.
She's definitely experiencing a lot with us, but I think that she's done a great job of just coaching and bringing us up and just telling us what the game plan is going before the game. And I think that she's definitely translated and got a few tips from Coletti that's definitely showing, and she's just given a huge energy to all of us in practice and on the court.
Now with the calendar flipped to 2024, Coach Miller and the rest of the Huskies are ready to make some noise and get back to the program's winning ways.
Lately, we've been doing a great job of sharing the ball offensively. We pride ourselves on our defense and the intensity that we play on that end of the floor and using that to kind of project our offensive end. So if we can keep doing those things, I think we'll be all right.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
The girls' bowling regular season is slowly coming to a close with only a few weeks remaining. We'll show a matchup between the Mustangs and Huskies after the break.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
I support NCTV 17. It's been an integral part of the Naperville community for a long time. Naperville is a unique city with lots of diversity and lots of different things going on, and NCTV is always there to tell a story. Whether that's festivals, events, the stories that NCTV brings to the community is important because it ties everyone together and it makes a larger city feel like a smaller town. Please join me in supporting Naperville's local nonprofit television station.
We're at Fox Bowl in Wheaton for a matchup between Naperville North Girls Bowling and Metea Valley. Both teams call Fox Bowl home, but it's the Mustangs who host this matchup on senior night. The day starts with Mustang Grace Parley bending 1 inches from the gutter towards the middle for a strike. Parley would go on to score a .456 on the series. Naperville North's Carly Bashus rolls down the middle and gets an excellent strike. Bashus scores .115 for the first game and a score of .312 on the series overall. The Huskies would continue on with Michelle Beck, who knocks down 9 pins. She gets the spare here and goes on to score a .371 on the series. Up next is Maya Moore, who rolls in a double for the Mustangs. Moore would go on to score a .173 in Game 1 and lead the Mustangs with an overall series score of .515. We're still with the Mustangs with Cassette Canal. She rolls in a strike of her own here and goes on to score a .137 in Game 2 and an overall series score of .389. Up next is senior Mariah Greenwood from Mattia Valley as she rolls in a strike for the Mustangs. Greenwood ends the day with an overall series score of .475. More strikes come, and that'll be Mustang Jade Williams, who rolls in a double. Williams scores .201 for Game 2 and .509 for the overall series. The Huskies keep on rolling as Ellie Child rolls in a strike. Child would go on to score a .387 for the overall series. Mattia Valley's Shannon Lynch manages to get a strike of her own here en route to a .355 for the series overall. Later on, Naperville North's Felicia Openshaw sends one near the gutter. However, the ball rolls back to knock down all the pins. She scores .333 for their overall series. Naperville North wraps up the day with more strikes as Lois Beck can get one herself. She goes on to score .356 on the series. However, the Mustangs would go on to win the matchup by almost 600 pins. They finished with a team score of 2,367. Naperville North Boys Wrestling opens the 2024 calendar year at home against Mattia Valley. Only a few DVC duels remain on the season, with the conference tournament on January 19th. Let's see which school tackles the new year with a victory. We begin with the 120 match with Naperville North's Connor McDonald squaring off against Mattia's Matthew Shaw. McDonald is in control for most of this match, getting his opponent down throughout. He secures the first of many Husky pins on the day. We are now moving to the end of the 138 match with Naperville North's Tyler Sternstein battling Mattia's Juan Arroyo. The Mustang avoids the pin well, but the Husky continues to apply the pressure. Sternstein eventually secures the second straight pin to open the day. The 150 match between Mustang Austin Wattis Luis and Husky Evan Marsheets is a close one. Wattis Luis opens it strong, getting his opponent down with a powerful slam. Marsheet starts on the bottom here, but works his way up to the top, and that helps the sophomore pick up another pin for North. It's been all Huskies so far on the day. Nico Blasny of Naperville North goes up against Ryan Williams of Mattia in the 157 match. Oblazny was on top for most of the first round, and here in the second, he's able to pin down his opponent. Naperville North continues to roll with only a couple of matches left on the day. To start the 165 match, Naperville North's Matis Badrikis gets the takedown of Mattia's Jackson Wasson. This is our only match that does not end in a pin, as it went the full way. In the end, it's Badrikis who gets the best of Wasson, winning it 10-3. Let's wrap up the duel in the 175 match with Husky Kyle Gatlin taking on Dominic Livrosi of Mattia. Gatlin gets his opponent down right away and does not look back. Under a minute later, he's in complete control and on top for the pin. Naperville North cruises to an impressive shutout victory as DVC play wraps up in just a few weeks. Let's head to Mattia Valley for our girls' play of the week, where Naperville North's Anna Richards hits the and 1-3 for a 4-point play. Under 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and the Huskies have possession. Kendall Johnson dishes one to Richards, who makes the three through the contact and the foul. A great shot from the junior, who went on to make the free throw. Taking another look at the play here, as Richards went on to score 13 points on the night, and North won 53-24. We'll wrap up today's show with girls gymnastics before our final play of the week.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build a habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Ingenious.
Sardine fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO.
Naperville North Gymnastics kicks off 2024 with the home meet against the Valley Co-op as both teams look to start the new year on a high note. Kicking things off on the vault, Ella Buchenauer is first up on the runway as she executes her landing, getting a score of 7.9 in a third-place finish. Next up on the vault is Naperville North's Erin Arnold. She runs down the runway and performs a back handspring half twist, getting a fourth-place score of 7.8. The best vaulter of the afternoon is Cara Jin from the Valley, as she sticks the landing, getting a top vault score of 8.2. Moving on to the uneven bars with Ava Koberman. She transitions over to the top bar before dismounting with a clean landing. She gets a score of 7.2 for fourth place. On the bottom bar now is Kate Offield, who makes her way to the top bar. She also sticks her landing for a score of 7.2, tying her for fourth place with Koberman. Time to test the gymnast's balance on the balance beam. Erin Arnold gets us started, showing off her abilities early on. She finishes with a 1 1/2 twist dismount, earning her a top beam score of 8.15. Moving on to the floor exercise. On Lucia Caruso's first pass, she does a double back handspring into a 1 1/2 twist. She does a similar move on her last pass, giving her a second place score of 8.4. Finishing off the meet with Erin Arnold on the floor. She does a mid-air twist into a front somersault. Her final pass, she does 4 back handsprings before sticking the landing. Arnold gets the best all-around score of the night with a 32.15, helping Naperville North take down the Valley by half a point.
Our boys' play of the week comes from Tyreek Coleman of Waubonsie basketball. The undefeated Warriors hosted rivals Neuqua Valley for a DVC matchup. In the final seconds of the third quarter, Coleman grabs the defensive rebound and bursts up the court. He crosses over behind the back and hits the pull-up three as time expires. It gave Waubonsie a 42-40 lead going into the fourth quarter after trailing by 9 at halftime. We'll get one more look at Coleman's effort, who on the night scored 18 points along with 9 rebounds. The Warriors went on to win 56-50. That closes our first show of 2024. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. You can find our past highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy.